Welcome to Casa Academy Chapter 5, Part 10, where we will cover real estate brokerage activities and procedures. In this explainer, we're going to take a really close look at the core themes of Florida law, along with federal RESPA regulations surrounding compensation. And if there's one hero in our story today, it's transparency. Understanding the strict limits on who gets paid, who does the paying, and exactly when that money can be shared, well, it's absolutely crucial for every single real estate licensee. It's not just about getting your check at the end of the day. It's really about protecting your license and serving your clients with total integrity. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. We've got 5 key topics on the agenda today. First, the brokerage compensation rule. Second, kickbacks and RESPA prohibitions. Third, the rules for legal referrals. Fourth, understanding commission rebates. And number 5, beware of secret profits. All right, moving right along to Section 1, the brokerage compensation rule, also known as the Golden Rule. Now, this right here is the foundation that all our other financial rules are built on. In real estate, compensation is incredibly broad. It's literally defined as anything of value received because of a real estate transaction. But here's the absolute most crucial point. Any compensation you earn, it belongs entirely to your broker. Whether you're a sales associate or a broker associate, you can only be paid directly by your employing broker based on your employment agreement. No exceptions, no bypassing the boss. Let's put this into a real-world scenario. Imagine you just closed a super difficult deal. It was a headache, but you nailed it. The seller is so thrilled with your amazing service that they hand you a nice gift certificate as a personal thank you. Seems harmless, right? Just a personal gesture. But legally, because that gift certificate has monetary value and you got it because of the transaction, it counts as compensation. So yes, you have to hand it straight over to your broker first. Now, they might turn right around and give it back to you, but under the law, that compensation goes through the broker. Okay, on to Section 2, kickbacks and RESPA prohibitions, or what I like to call third-party dangers. Look, it is completely natural to build relationships with third-party providers, lenders, home inspectors, folks you trust and feel totally comfortable recommending. But, and this is a big but, receiving compensation for a referral without actually providing a legitimate real estate service is legally defined as a kickback. Getting paid just for recommending someone, that is strictly prohibited by federal RESPA regulations and Florida Statute 475. It's a huge red flag. And this brilliantly illustrates that kickbacks aren't just, shady briefcases full of cash slid across a dark table. A kickback can actually be something super everyday. We're talking gift cards, tickets to a concert or a sporting event, theme park passes, restaurant vouchers, even just a really nice bottle of wine. If it has value and you didn't provide an actual real estate service to earn it, it's an illegal kickback, period. Let's keep moving. Section 3, rules for legal referrals. How to actually do it legally. Since referrals are literally the lifeblood of this business, let's contrast 2 very different situations. On one hand, let's say your really helpful next-door neighbor refers a homeowner to you who wants to list their house. You're ecstatic, right? You want to buy them a gift card to say thanks. Stop right there. Doing that violates Florida law because your neighbor is not licensed to receive real estate compensation. Now, flip the script. Suppose your aunt, who happens to be a licensed real estate pro up in New Jersey, refers a buyer down to Florida. In that case, paying a referral fee is perfectly legal. Why? Because the fee goes directly to your aunt's broker, since the referral came from a properly licensed professional. So to sum it up nicely, legal referrals require 3 specific things: a legitimate service provided, a properly licensed recipient, and full disclosure. And for your attendance, your verification code is 515142. Always make sure you keep those 3 legal requirements front and center whenever you're dealing with referrals. Okay, now let me ask you a kind of surprising question that might seem to completely contradict what we just talked about. We know an unlicensed neighbor can't get a referral fee, right? But can an unlicensed buyer or seller who is actually involved in the transaction receive a portion of the commission? Take a second and think about what the law might actually say here. Which brings us right to Section 4. Understanding commission rebates and sharing with clients. Surprisingly enough, the answer is yes. There's actually no way around it. This is called a rebate. A rebate happens when a broker or licensee shares part of their earned commission directly with a buyer or seller involved in that specific transaction. So, for example, a broker might agree to give a buyer, say, $1,000 credit from the commission proceeds at closing just to help out with closing costs. Under Florida law, that is absolutely permitted. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the massive caveat attached to this rule. A rebate is only legal if it is fully disclosed. And guys, I mean fully disclosed. You have to lay it out for the buyer, the seller, the lender, and the title company. For instance, if you've got a transaction documented under closing file number 874519 and you're giving a commission rebate to the buyer, that exact rebate must be crystal clear to every single one of those parties before closing. Hiding a rebate from the lender? Yeah, that's a serious violation. All right, on to our final topic, Section 5. Beware of secret profits, a major regulatory trap. This is perhaps the most dangerous trap you can fall into as a licensee because it directly breaches fiduciary trust. A secret profit happens when a licensee gets compensation from more than one source in the exact same transaction without proper disclosure and consent. Basically, Florida law strictly forbids you from secretly double-dipping and taking undisclosed cash from both sides of a deal. Let's walk through a super common scenario to see how this plays out. Imagine you've signed a buyer brokerage agreement with your client, and it guarantees you a 3% commission. You go out, you find them the perfect house, but the listing brokerage is only offering a 2.5% cooperating commission. Well, under the terms of your agreement, your buyer is actually on the hook to make up that difference and pay you the extra 0.5%. Now, collecting that extra 0.5% from your buyer to hit your guaranteed 3%, totally legal. But only if it is matched with absolute, unmatched transparency. It has to be fully disclosed to and approved by all the appropriate parties. We're talking the buyer, the seller, the brokers, the lender, the whole shebang. If you decide to just quietly pocket that extra money on the side without telling anyone, that payment instantly transforms into an illegal secret profit and a direct violation of Florida law. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a crucial question to ask yourself as you go out and build your career. In every single transaction, are you prioritizing transparency to protect your broker, your clients, and your license? Remember, following these strict rules on who pays, who receives, and how every single dollar is disclosed, it's not just about passing some exam. It is literally the ultimate key to building a long, successful, and truly ethical real estate career. Always keep transparency at the forefront of everything you do.